There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Try to see who all trying to pile in here and talk about this topic. What's up with it, man? Hit that like button when you pile in here. To the Chicago area man found hanging from a tree in North Carolina. Found dead against the tree with rope around his neck. Not a lynching, sheriff says. 315, they're saying it's not a lynching. A death investigation in Vance County is sparking questions and rumors online across the country. J.G., a 21-year-old truck driver from Chicago area, was found dead in the rural area of Van Mill Road on September. Investigators said he was not far from his truck, leaning with his back up against a tree and a rope around his neck, making a delivery to the Walmart distribution center. McGee's family, who lives in Chicago, was upset and demanding answers. Many of them are even on their way to North Carolina in an attempt to pressure investigators to release more information about what happened. And Sheriff Curtis R. Bram tells ABC 11 they are conducting a death investigation. He said there were no signs of foul play in McGee's death. Said McGee went to a nearby Walmart shortly before he died. That is where he is believed to have bought the rope found around his neck. Wow. There's over 1,000 hits on TikTok accusing sheriff officers not blah, 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 blah. Man, we're going to talk about this. So, yeah, man, it's going crazy on Twitter. What's the other? TikTok. Not Twitter. TikTok. Probably Twitter, too, but TikTok, you know, everybody doing all the viral videos. Everybody want to talk about, you know, comparative lynching. Everybody, you know, due to the country's history, due to America's history, if a black man has any type of situation where he has a rope or any type of hanging, lynching situation where it's the optics of it looks like it could have been some type of, you know, like I said, lynching going on. Any type of situation with a black man being hung, especially online, is going to be quick to jump and say some type of lynching, racial, you know, really is the audience, man. That's really the thing that's haunting a lot of folks, man. Because a lot of these rumors and stuff going online that attributed, even me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got my thumbnail, you know, it's catchy. It's something that's going to catch people's eye and attention because it plays on the fact of the history of lynching in America with KKK, you know, nooses, all type of shit like that. You know, all type of janky-ish that, you know, America was founded on, if we be honest. You know, America was founded on these type morals, white supremacy, you know, the subjugation of black folks, chattel slavery, you know, all that, you know, things just be real. You know, chattel slavery was real in America. It happened. It's a whole history of it. And we can't deny our bloody history in America. You know, we got to be 100% aware of it and cognizant of it. But we also got to be aware of a lot of other things, man. In my opinion, we can't even get to a place where we can accept that a black man maybe just had mental issues and and took his own life. Like, the racial idolatry is that rampant. It's that strong. It's that out of control in America, in my opinion, man. A lot of folks, especially folks from my community, man, instead of doing like a lot of the work, you know, mentally to get past it, man, we are really still stuck in the past in a lot of ways, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lord of mercy, like, I mean, of course, thoroughly investigated, but man, we got to do other things, man. We need to check on the mental health of people around us and our families and folks we know. Man, nobody, is anybody talking about the mental status of this young man or what he had to go through, things like this? Does anybody know him personally that can actually know the frame of mind he might have been in around this time? Because the sheriff said he bought the rope from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like the investigation, they're saying there's no foul play. Man, people got to learn to accept some shit and stop just trying to have a knee-jerk reaction when it comes to things like this racially, man. It's really showing the hurt and the trauma we have from the past in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we got new trauma that's developing in America, man. We got rich slaves in America, for real. Let's talk about that. We got people that are mentally enslaved. They're enslaved buyers and capitalism and that cause depression. Let's be real about that. You know what I'm saying? Like this brother was 21 years old, and all the looks of it looks like he took his own life. You know what I'm saying? Black sheriff. Not to say that matters. There's a black sheriff in the town. I just looked on the video. Some black sheriff out there. That's in Vance County. You know what I'm saying? Vance County is like I said, I'm from North Carolina myself. Not to say that he can't be with some kind of crazy cooking up some type of stuff too. But I'm from North Carolina myself. It's an old black sheriff. It's one of them towns. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them towns. Like people go through things mentally, man. Black folks we gotta work. It's new issues. We gotta work on that, man. Like we really gotta work on our past. Working through our past history and trauma with racism in this country. We really gotta work through that mentally, in my opinion. Because folks like. The man could have just took his own fucking life. That's just the facts. That's the fact of life that black folks gotta accept, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like the optics don't look good, and it's crazy as hell that a black man would ever want to take his life this way and fucking hang himself. It's just fucking weird. But with the new development, people coming out, let's see it. Wrapped around his neck. It's not a noose. It says it's not a noose. There was a knot in the rope. Yeah, man. It's a lot with that. Damn, I can't fucking see the message. Oh, her name is Wet. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, man. But it's coming out now that there was no foul play. Khalil Gay, who lives in Henderson, said this about McGee's death. I mean, honestly, I think we have to acknowledge that number one, we do live in the South, and there's a deep history of racism and racist acts, and so people are obviously concerned about that. Of course, man. But it's also, I'm telling you, we got new slaves today, man. People are mentally enslaved, man. We're going through all type of mental turmoil, depression, stuff like that, man. People are really in their own heads way too much. Appreciate it, man. Hit that like button for me. Wet, hit that like button. I don't know what kind of name you got on here on YouTube, but hit that like button for me, man. Donate something to the channel, $ Toxic Masculinity, POD. Yes, I guess his family's talking about they didn't let him see his body. They won't let him see the body. I mean, it's like I said, it's a lot of racial history and things going on in our country. And that's what's up, man. But yeah, it's definitely a dark past, especially down south, dealing with racism, racist acts, lynching, all. We gotta understand, man. It's folks out here suffering daily. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what this man was going through. You know what I'm saying? A lot of folks at this age, they go through relationship issues. Yeah, driving an 18-wheeler or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, driving an 18-wheeler. So I'm like, I don't know, young man. How emotionally? They don't have a real frame of reference to go through things. Like you on the road, you probably got a chick back home. Think you might have called. Somebody might have heard some clapping sounds going on in the background. So you never know. Anything. Who knows what triggers these young generation, man? This young generation is very, in my opinion, man, they're very fickle. Very soft, very lacking the spine in a lot of ways. Very just mushy. Like a big old mound of clay or something, or a mound of mud, not even clay. Clay at least hardens up, turns into when you put heat to it, man. A lot of this generation is soft. soft, man. Mentally out here and do some things, and earn crypto. Do whatever. They can do some things out here that's more, relevant or new or whatever. But mentally, they are lost. Mentally, this generation is lost, man. They cannot just go through things and suffer through things emotionally without getting deterred, getting depressed. All type of things that other generations we didn't have time for. In all honesty, in all honesty, we had to push through. We had to persevere. We had to be mentally tougher than a lot of this generation has to be. Girl issues, man. You gotta chalk that up to the game. Go get you another chick, bro. Whatever could I can't understand what would make a 21-year-old want to take his own life besides female issues. Truckers, they on the road all the time. They barely home. I don't know if you had an old high school girlfriend, you still might have heard some rumors go down. Who knows, man? Young folks, like I said, that's the only thing I really know for young folks really losing their mind over is women, is relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's really the only thing I can attribute it to as to why a young man would ever even want to take his own life. Bad look. Definitely not surprised that people are taking it the way that they're taking it. Everybody wants to be precautionary nowadays. Everybody wants to, like I said, have a knee-jerk reaction to anything that looks optically like some racial, traumatic racial shit happened. Honestly, to be straight up with you. So, yep, it was a wild situation. Man. Wild situation. But like I said, some more of the details starting to come out now, light now, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. Get his family some closure. Let them really see what's going on. To be transparent. Let this family have some type of closure or come to some type of understanding as to what happened to their loved one. And black folks, we need to accept things. In my opinion, as black people in America, we need to accept that everything doesn't have, can't have a racial undertone. How can we expect to move on and move past our history as far as just healing? You know what I'm saying? To just have some healing. If we can't move on mentally, mentally we're still stuck to these acts that happened hundreds of years ago. Things like that, man. It's been, years since these things have been just a normal occurrence in America. So we let these, like I said, living in fear is not a good thing either. As a folks, man, that just shows how traumatized you are. You're living in fear. Everything is got to be attributed to racial issues or some type of, like I said, lynchings and stuff like that. Whatever. I mean, people go through things. Unfortunately, everybody don't pop a whole bunch of pills or something. Some people they go through things, and how they choose to unalive themselves, how they choose to unalive themselves. It's a sad situation. And yeah, like I said, I'm sure more details will come forward in the coming days. But they're saying now, no foul play. No foul play is what they're saying right now.
10:08 a.m. Vance County Sheriff Office received a call out to a rural part of the community.
Watching this video right now, the sheriff of Vance County.
The deceased young man was sitting up against a tree, with his back up against a tree. He had a rope around his neck, and he had the top of the rope was up in the tree limb. There was not a noose. There was not a knot in the rope. We have information that we got that this young man was visited a local Walmart store here in Henderson, where he was following all the resources and avenue we're utilizing. We found out he was a truck driver after we identified who he was. At first, we had no identity on it because he had no ID on him. And once we identified who he was, we found that the tractor trailer he was driving was in an adjacent lot to from where his body was located. We contacted his family in Aurora, Illinois. We had the Aurora Police Department go out and contact his family. And once that notification was made, we personally talked to the family and inform them of the information that and the ongoing investigation of the death investigation of their son, their 21-year-old son, Mr. Magby.
And so at this point, you sure you've seen some of these videos from family members that have out there.
All right, man. So I mean, heard a plan this day from the sheriff out there in North Carolina. I mean, they confirming that a lot of things right now. They're trying to make everything line up, but they're confirming. They said he bought the rope from a local Walmart. He was a truck driver. They talked to the family. It seemed like a young man that was going through a lot and chose to end his life, unfortunately, man. Everything is not a racial issue, black folk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part. That's one of my biggest issues with black, in my opinion, man. I'm trying to tell you, like, we are so quick to want to have a knee-jerk reaction to things and place the blame for our own issues on this is another situation. You know what I'm saying? That's just the realest of the real too, man. Black folks in America, we need some healing. You know what I'm saying? We need some self-love. We need some self-healing internally. We need to real, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I know that it'll probably make a lot of their family and people feel a lot, maybe more better and at ease if it was some type of racial issue where he was lynched, but that's not the case. That is not the case, man. In my humblest opinion of what I believe, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? What it look like, a 21 years old young man, I don't believe that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? They're saying they might have that he purchased the rope, the item that was around his neck. Man, come on, man. Have some acceptance for some crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let's have some acceptance for the fact that some people are crazy. Some people are not mentally sane. Let's stop attributing racial idolatry. You know, there's no healing in that. There's no forward progression in living with that in your mindset and running off with these rumors. Like I said, propaganda online and rumors and spreading rumors online. We all know how the internet is. You know what I'm saying? We all know how the internet is, man. And the optics of it, man. It's like people love a story of racial violence in America, man. You know what I'm saying? We get off on that shit. We thrive on that shit, whether it be George Floyd or something. Come on, man. Or whatever, even the shit with Tyreek. When I'm getting, whatever, the Tyreek Hill, with him getting slammed by the cops the other day. We love to jump of some racial hatred in America, man. That's like it feeds our inner devil or low vibrational being inside of us to hear about some negative bullshit or to feel like time, man. Can that bullshit. Black folks don't even know the mental status of their own families and friends, man. Their own loved ones, their own relatives, their own blood kin. In the black community, don't nobody really ask that. That's not something that we've ever properly been able to attain is emotional intelligence. In the black community, emotional intelligence is something that it's really it's not in abundance. In all honesty, man. You go in the black community, a lot of intelligent. We weren't gifted those skills. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time, the patience, the ability to attain these needed skills. Real talk, man. So I bet you nobody in his family even knew how he was mentally, checked in on him regularly, knew what he had going on. That's most people are so self-aggrandizing, selfish, self-centered. Man, they don't even spend their, you know what I'm saying? Where's his family? Where's his support system? What are the people that's supposed to know how this man is? But they want to claim some racial shit on jumped off in North Carolina and all this, bad mouthing, negative rumors and narratives out here running around rampant on TikTok and craziness, man. Because they love it. That's the type of propaganda and things they love to incite in America. Like black folks, like we thrive off that shit. Real talk. You got to be 100. Folks thrive off of that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we love to push that narrative of we just under attack. You know what I'm saying? By whether it be law enforcement or the white man, whatever supremacy, we love to push that narrative that's the biggest issue plaguing black folks in America, man. Nigga, some people crazy. Some people don't love themselves because they was raised horribly without love. They was treated like an option. They was treated like materialism and money is more valuable than them. You know what I'm saying? They weren't properly loved or taken care of. Nobody put any energy or effort into loving these people. So they just out here lost any mental stability because they weren't given the tools. Like I said, man, a lot of folks don't have no emotional intelligence in the black community. They love to rather blame the white man, lynching or racial type of violence don't jumped off, as opposed to saying maybe our son or our relative wasn't mentally right and we didn't give a damn. You know, how about that? Like maybe we didn't give a damn until it became a Sandra Bland or whatever. You know, we don't they left her. Like I said, Sandra Bland, they left her in a damn jail. Nobody even came to bail her out. She was calling folks to try to bail her out. But the first thing they want to do is say the cops unalived her and did some foul play type shit. You know what I'm saying? But we don't even want to give credit to the fact some of these people might not be mentally wrapped right, man. We see it every day in the black community with all the killings, gun violence, and acts of, mentally deranged acts that transpire in the black, you know, self-harming, harming one another, genocide. We see it all the time, man. We see it all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially, it's just a sad situation, in my opinion, to do like, but one of my biggest things is we got to learn to have some acceptance, man. As a people in the black community, we got to learn to have some acceptance, accountability, and man, just be able to have some clarity in what we're seeing, man. Process this thing a little bit more neutrally, you know, as opposed to we always coming in, like I said, from a hurt party. That's one thing I noticed about the black community. We coming in from, and rightfully so. America has, has its black eyes and issues that plague the black community. Man, hit that like button for me out there. Hit that like button. Like America definitely has its setbacks and issues that plague America historically. You know, we ain't gonna sit here and act like it was never a checkered past in America, but come on, man. We coming in from a hurt people. That's just the reality. Black folks in America, man, we coming in every situation from a hurt people, and from that, and that does nothing for our health, our healing, and our growth as a community. Pointing the damn finger every time some shit goes down. Who's in this young man corner, as opposed to being ready to spread some rumors online about some racial stuff and lynchings, because that's something that's polarizing and divisive and in the cliques talking about some like I said, that's America. You know, that's the stuff that gets the clicks. But you know what doesn't get the clicks? Mental health. You know what doesn't get the love and the shares from the black community? Working together. Community funding and putting your money, as far as just financially putting your money together, working together, as far as what do we call it? Community funding, basically. You know what I'm saying? Just things where the community works together. That's the thing that's not popular in the black community. And that's the wildest thing to be. Checking on your loved ones. Just like I said, just being there for one another. That's something that's not. Why don't that trend? That's my biggest thing. They love to trend some red black shit, but they don't never talk about the real that plays on black crime. Like I said, self-hatred, gun violence, just dysfunction. You know, they don't even want to touch on that. All they're doing to us. We don't ever want to talk about what the black man does to the black man on a day-to-day. We don't want to talk about how families don't care about the mental sanity of the next man, of the next family member. They won't give a rat's ass. Let's talk some truth today. Most people don't give a damn about their family. That's my experience of what I've seen in the black community. Mentally, they don't care if you're mentally wrapped tight. You know, they're not checking in on you. Like it's having a mental health day, a mental health check, mental awareness. They ain't doing none of that. You know, because they don't care. Black people been through so much dysfunction and negativity in this country and hatred through whatever channel, whether it be ourselves or through other races and systemically, whatever. Man, so focused on and we so self-centered, selfish. We don't care about anybody else's feelings, emotions, mental health, none of that in the black community, man. And that's a big problem. That's a dysfunctional problem in the black community. Black people don't give a damn about your mental health, your financial health. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about family members, man. I ain't talking about complete strangers. I'm talking about family members. They don't care about your financial health, your mental health. Like I said, how you doing resource-wise. They don't care about your future. And a lot of times, I'm talking about this is what I've seen in the majority. It's dysfunction. It's competition. It's just a negative situation all around, in my opinion. That's funny. Tallahassee hero. Should donate something to T-Pain, man. Hey, hit that cash app, $ toxic masculinity POD. And the dig, buy me a new pair of shoes, man. $ toxic masculinity POD. It's in that description box. Shoot. You ain't supposed to wash your hair a whole bunch, man. Get a little water on it, but don't wash it too much, so you ain't gonna have a length like mine got. You did. Tie this shit around, hey, make a knot. But yeah, man, back to the topics, man. It's a, like I said, it's a sad situation transpired in North Carolina, man. Sad situation, man. But like I said, black and national, it's really nationally. Want to be honest, man. It's really a national thing. As I said, it's trending. It's going viral. You know, some civil rights attorneys, you know, go over the sheriff office's investigation, make sure there's, you know, full transparency on what happened on, you know, September 11th to this man. Cumberland County in the building. What's up with it? I'm from Cabarrus County. I'm from North Carolina person. I'm a North Carolina nigga myself, man. I'm out here in Colorado though. But man, hey, that's something too. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there's certain places in North Carolina, South Carolina, in the South that you know. I mean, it's even as me. I just moved here 4 months ago. Man, you dare not go to some of these places by yourself. You know, non-strap and fucked up situation. I mean, it's places, bad places anywhere in America where I mean, down south, I wouldn't advise you to go to. You know what I'm saying? Just in back alley. You know, let's just call them sundown town type cities and stuff like that. So I'm not saying it's not still a lingering hint of things going on in America, man, because I wouldn't dare go to certain places in North Carolina, you know, that I'm not aware of, know nobody, anything like that. But this ain't the case, in my opinion. You know, 100 from a Southerner, we got to come to a level of acceptance for things that transpire in the black community, man. Because the finger pointing, the blame game, I'm getting sick and tired of it personally, man. I'm sick and tired of people being so triggered for all this racial epithet and racial epithets and just these, you know, racial issues and things that flare up here and there, man. Racial idolatry is running rampant. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. We can't see the forest from the trees on a lot of things, man. We sit here an emotional ass people that are unaware of the real issues that plague the black community. You know, I don't think white folks is not out here trying to lynch and hurt niggas in America, man. I don't think that's just the main route in which they're going about it, man. They got mass incarceration. You know, they got inflation. They got other ways where they can kick you in the ass. You know, they got the EBT and the you know all the child resources that wish to split up the black families and stuff. You know, they don't have to lynch us anymore. They can just throw guns in the middle of Chicago and let you lynch one another. You know, what the hell do they need to lynch motherfuckers for? You know what I'm saying? Like, throw guns in the middle of Charlotte, let niggas lynch each other. That shit is played out. I don't feel like that is even something that's, like I said, going on in America. You know, they got other ways to lynch your ass. They got ways to slave your ass, the 13th Amendment. They got other ways to disenfranchise and destroy your life. And really, it's a lot of the times it is self-inflicted in America from black folks, man. Look up the stats. Look up the stats. You know what I'm saying? We talk about all these mental issues and forgot that thing. Everybody's getting all these kids are now coming down with I forgot that. Damn. Autism. All these kids are coming down with all these mental issues, autism, especially these boys, weirdo kids. He's 21, man. That's a baby to me. You know what I'm saying? 21, I'm 35. Like, you think you want to have every and any reason to want to continue to live and thrive and do something for his family. I've seen pictures. He had a family, you know, but you never know. You know, he had, like he had brothers and sisters or something, but you never know what people are going through, especially in the black community, because they don't care. You know, the black community doesn't give a rat's ass about anybody in the black community. Point blank, period. Like, they do not give a damn. You know, I bet I would be willing and would bet the house like people do not care. Like, ain't nobody give a damn to check on this man and see how his mental being is and his well being, because the black community doesn't think like that. It's only a small segment of the black community that even thinks about mental health, even thinks about the mental health of others, that even thinks about helping family and working together as a union and in unison to work for a better good and a greater good. Like, most people in the black community are not wired to think like this. They are not wired to care for the next man. You know, and especially now, it makes it even worse because in families are the same way. They do not think their fellow man, their blood up, they kin. They do not think this way. You know, it's every man for themselves. It's like I said, it's a backbiting. It's chaotic, it's dysfunctional, it's degeneracy, and it's just a low life way to live in a lot of times in Black America. The way in which Black America operates. So I'm sure the first thing we want to do is blame the white man on everything for the work we don't want to put in for ourselves. But the first thing we want to do is say, "Oh, he was lynched." I'm not so quick to see when I see how a lot of these black folks act in America. I'm not so quick to say, blame the white man for situations like this, man. I know we have a lot of mental issues we gotta work on. So me personally, when I see how black folk operate in America with just mentally deranged, angry, volatile, I'm not so quick to believe everything that just because of race, just because of the racial history, just to give people a pass. I'm not quick to do that personally. I'm not, man. We got plenty of issues that we can work on in the black community that are self-inflicted situations and issues that we need to work on. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but fuck it. Shit, you got to hear it. You need to hear it. Black folks have their own issues to work on rather than blaming the white man for the past. Black folks in America, we have our own issues to take care of, other than always wanting to be quick to jump through white supremacy as an out for things that happen that for ourselves as a community and as a people. We haven't done the work. We have not done the work, man. Mental health is not something that's taken serious in the black community. It's not. Mental health is not something that's pushed out here to the forefront in the black community. It's not. And I know that's, like I said, I'm gonna lose some people on that. I know people don't want to hear that, but man, mental health is not something that is pushed or that is taken seriously in the black community. There's not a significant amount of resources, of speaking points. Everything in the black community is always talking about some men versus women, sex, low vibrational drugs, jewelry, code. Nobody in the black community ever wants to speak for mental health. Nobody wants to rally for mental health in the black community. That's not sexy. That ain't cool. That ain't something everybody just want to get behind and put their face as the bulletin board for mental health in the black community. You ever notice that nobody in the black community wants to stand up for mental health? But we got all these crazy MFers running around here acting like daggone fools, toting guns, got all types of disorders going on, raised on drugs. Mama probably was on all type of drugs when she had you, conceived you, sniffing that powder every night, got your mind all racing. On raise some straight up devils that know they need some type of psychiatric help or evaluation, need to be on some type of medication or something. We don't talk about that though. We let them run the streets. You know what I'm saying? We let them act the damn fool. We let kids with their undeveloped brains be out here smoking, running around watching adult content and things at young ages and think that's cool. Nah, man, black people gotta work on their own mental health, man. Nah, bro. I ain't giving us that out. I ain't quick to point a finger at nobody else, other communities for issues that plague us. We got mental issues too. We got mental acute. Look at how it's ran. It's ran like it, man. Bunch of single mama raised weirdos out here, man. Can't take nothing. Can't take no chastisement. Can't take a man correction. They just soft. Soft as Charmin, as Kobe would say. This is one of the softest I've ever seen mentally. Mentally. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the softest generations mentally I've seen in quite some time. Quite some time, man. Straight up, cause shit happens in life, man. You gotta learn from a young age that things are not gonna always go your way. You gotta accept that. Straight up. That's some of the rules and laws of life, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't in the hand you're dealt. You can't control anything in this world. You're not God. Ken never had his attitude of it won't happen to me in your life. You gotta have a why not me or why can't it happen to me attitude. But as I said, until mental health takes precedent in the black community, until it's something that's actually taken seriously in the black community, and it's a relevant topic of conversation other than all this, like I said, man, ain't nothing but men versus women, gender wars, calling out, all this materialistic stuff that's going on. These are the conversations being had, but from black folks in America. But you rarely hear anyone talk about mental health. You rarely hear that talk spoke of. We want to talk about like I said, the Tyreek, whatever his name, wide receiver situation, man. We want to find all these other little trendy situations and topics to talk about that's relevant to us. The election, all these little trendy things that's not on kilt with things that help our community. There's a lot of things in the black community that we just love to sweep under the rug and love to deflect and blame another community or other group of people for our problems and our issues. And suicide is not really a black issue. That's just also as well. It's not really something we do a lot, but man, we have mental issues in America, man. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of black folks crash. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of black men, but mama drama and unaliving the baby mama and the kids and crazy. I've been seeing that's not something that's really normal, but I'm telling you, this soy boy generation is soft as Charmin, mentally weak, possessive of a lot of these situations and a lot of these women in situations, man. Bro, my generation, man, the phrase roll over hoes, but even that is kind of whack. But we ain't gonna allow no woman to break up situations, if that makes sense. We knew certain women had certain temperaments, man. We might have, and man, whatever, ways in which they operated, and we won't gonna let a piece of pussy interfere with manhood and manhood shit, in real ways. So a lot of the generation is lost. They can't. You got to be able to let things go. I had a friend that said, if a hoe want to be a hoe, you got to let her go. A lot of these folks, man, they mentally weak, man. And I don't know what it is. Hit that like button, TNP. Man, what's up, man? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. It is TNP, man. We keeping it hot, flipping real, all the above, man. Keeping it two with you. Hilarious. Little girl got his dog. My little girl got this little dog, man. She gonna be happy. My wife bought her a little dog. That's beautiful, man. She's been wanting it for a while. So I'm glad she got it. Been listening to what you've been saying, man. I try to be. Just go ahead and subscribe to the channel for me. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, man. If you feel so inclined, donate something to the channel. $ Toxic Masculinity POD. It's in the description box. But man, I try to be 100, man, because too many folks today want to sugarcoat things, man, and that's just my biggest pet peeve, man. Transparency is key. Stop trying to hide things and hide game from folks, man. Transparency is what's gonna get us out of this hole we're in America, as far as black folks, because we ain't enslaved no more, man. So stop trying to keep pushing that racial and idolatry ass narrative of trying to fearmonger everybody in the black community and division and being all this divisive rhetoric and bullshit they're trying to put out here on TikTok and on the internet. Stop it, man. That's what I say, man. Stop the cap, because that's not what's gonna get us the progression. And sit here finger blaming and finger pointing at the white people that don't give a rat's ass about if our community progresses, if we destroy ourselves. To say it frankly, they don't give a damn if we are progressing, thriving, or not existing, especially in America. They don't care if we unalive ourselves, genocide. They don't care if our gun violence rates and rates of death in certain ages are high in certain demographics. They don't care. They don't give a damn. So while you sit here pointing the finger and pointing the blame game at people that aren't even in, really at this point, they aren't even in the game of holding you back. They aren't even in the game of subjugating you anymore. There's no Greensboro sit-in riots and lynchings and all type of sickened dogs on you. That time is over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to perpetuate this narrative of that, because that's no longer our issue. And by doing that, you're missing the biggest issue that's sitting right in front of your face, which is self-hatred, genocide, mental health. You know, mental health doesn't always show itself with situations like this, man. It can show itself in a lot of ways. You know, these men that create a whole bunch of broken homes, these women that create a whole bunch of broken homes, these women that create a whole bunch of broken homes. It can come from many ways, man. All this gun violence, gang shootings, degenerate, crazy shit in all these liberal cities. Gun violence going rampant in all these liberal blue cities. That's mental health issues. Philadelphia, Charlotte, Atlanta, you name it, is there. You name it, is there. Chicago, you name it, is there. So let's focus. You know, we got to focus as a people on the real pertinent topics. You know, you understand the things that really pertain to what's going on in our communities. You know, stop being so transfixed on worrying and pointing the blame and focus on these other communities. That ain't helping us. You know what I'm saying? That really shows what your mind is on. You know, and if everything you think is about white folks trying to hurt you, that means they're living rent free in your mind. A whole community of people that don't care about you is living rent free in your mind, and you got all this bent up hostility and hatred toward these people that don't even care about you. They're busy building, you know, their heaven on earth now, and their community and their future for their people right now, and their legacy, and their, you know, thriving in this country that's built for them to thrive in, and you're sitting here playing. And due to that victim mentality, a lot of people don't understand having a victim mentality almost gives you a built-in excuse for not doing. And that is one of the biggest issues we got to face in America and face head on in America for black folks. It gives you an excuse for not doing the work, because you sit here and you want to say someone else is the reason why I'm not doing X, Y, Z. And that's bull. That's a load of crap. And a lot of black folks, we take on this mantra and mindset where with victim mentality, you know. We ain't investigation go out, we already, oh, he got lynched. Like, man, that's nothing but pain and trauma from the past, and you know, like I said, issues that still plaguing us mentally. You know, when we know that's not the biggest issue, that, man. Even talking about George Floyd. You talking about George Floyd, like, people love to talk about that, but what kind of person was he? It came out that he had all type of issues, pointing guns at pregnant women's bellies, just all type of crazy issues that he had going on. That's mental health issues. You sitting there doing sniffing whatever, getting fentanyl high. That's mental health issues, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff. But we quick the only thing that for his life that we can talk about, situation where we felt like he got lynched. You know, the knee was on his chest, whatever. He OD'd, he died, whatever. The man passed away due to the police force. You know, and we know we connotate police with white supremacy and, you know, racially intolerant past from law enforcement. But if we delve into this man's past, just one person like George Floyd, you see he was accreting on his own people. You know, he was not someone that was very reputable or someone that you would hold up as a good representation of black manhood. He had all type of, he was also a truck driver, I believe, but he had all that plagued him throughout his lifetime. You know what I'm saying? But nobody checked on that. You know, the story of his lifetime would be he's a racial martyr, and he, you know, passed away due to racial intolerance, whatever. He was lynched, you know, through the police force by this white officer who had his foot on his back and his neck. He couldn't breathe, you know, But when would we do the work to a situation like this, where they're not, you know, mentally disturbed, if you to say the least? Well, we don't have these mentally disturbed people out here. When are we going to do the work to try to help these folks? When are we going to do the work on these folks so they're not out here in cretins and on demon time for their own people? That's my biggest question. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know, talk about the situation in which he was, I guess, martyred. You know, he turned into a modern day martyr and all that crap. But what about the life of it that he lived? You know what I'm saying? What about the person he was, the character he had? We don't talk about that because nobody cares. The black community, we refuse to do the work. We point the finger, oh, this, that, and the third. You know, white guy, You know, he had no hand in it. The way he was raised, he had no, you know, all that, all this excuse making. I said, just because you black don't mean you can live a life of excuses and having no accountability for your life. That's my biggest thing. I love to push on folks. Accountability. Just you a black person, I don't give you a pass to act like an asshole and to be on society and a degenerate and a low life. And that doesn't give you a pass for not doing the work just because, we went through all type of mental enslavement and still going through it. We still going through all type of mental, dysfunction and degradation and oppression right now. But a lot of times we choose it. The things that we take on and watch and see, that's on you. The things your family consumes and does, that's on you. If your child, if you want to have a broken home and create broken homes, the ramifications that's going to come from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop blaming the white man for doing his job. Out here policing these effed up neighborhoods and these crime-riddled neighborhoods where nobody else wants to do the work. Nobody else wants to do anything. So the only thing they can do is lock them up. It's corporal punishment because nobody else is doing anything for them. No other man is stepping up, giving these kids any type of game or stepping up as a father figure for these broken homes that's created through the mental health issues and self-loathing and lack of respect and love for yourself. So I ain't into excuse making. I ain't no victim. I'm not no victim. So life has been good. Life is great. Life has been filled with wild tribulation, all that, man. You keep on rolling, keep on shoot, because the ultimate prize is, eternal life. So that's ultimately keep on moving, man. This ain't nothing but a test on this plane. And like I said, a lot of folks, man, it's crazy what we do with our free will. That's all I gotta say, man. Because me personally, I'm not gonna sit around and be a victim my whole life. That's just me. I'm not gonna sit here and play the blame game on a whole nother race that don't even care we exist. Because all that does is pedestalize them. I'm not focused on them. That's why most of my things are directed at black folks. Most of my topics and points are directed toward my community, and the one in which I focus my time and attention on, which is my own. And I think it's a damn shame that black folks are so still sensitive racially in America. I think that's a damn shame, personally. I think it's a damn shame. And we're still so triggered by situations like this, and we won't even let it, come out to be what it is. Now what? If it comes out that a man ended up taking his in North Carolina, bought a rope, as they said, at the Walmart and took his own life, now what? Is there a conversation that needs to be had, or are we going to sweep this shit under the rug too and keep it moving? And it wasn't a situation where it was some type of racial lynching. Now we ain't gonna apologize for the racial idolatry and the optics and the lies that we try to spew online and do online, because that's all it's doing. That's all it's doing is creating more division and fear mongering black folks, which isn't a good thing in my opinion. Race relations should be something that folks want to take improve. Because we are in America, we are. This is a nation of a whole different melting pot of people, and for black folks to think, like I said, we can just make excuses all day and point fingers, man. That's not doing anything positive for us. So, in my opinion, race relations has to improve. But yeah, man, and it's mental health, man. Like I said, we got to take mental health more serious. There's no reason a 21-year-old man should be wanting to take his own life. There's no reason at all. I was young once. I was a young 21-year-old man at one point, man. But never had an idea to want to do anything like that to harm myself. Sad situation. Like I said, people need to have conversations and good conversations with their family. Check in on them mentally. Act like you care, as they say. Act like you care. But yeah, man, it's a wild situation, as I said before previously. And said, man, cannot play the blame game. I know we love to do that. I know black folks love to do that. We love to assume responsibility, culpability. We hate to own up to things that make us look in a bad light. Yes, black folks take their own lives too, man. Plenty of people jumped off the boat, with the ancestors and slaves, man. Everybody didn't choose to be a slave. Some people jumped off and became shark food. They went on to live with the ancestors, man. But everybody, like I said, everybody, you know, we had that ability to take our own stuff for folks, man. And like everybody want to act like that's a white thing, man. That hell no. Shit, all people of all races, it's just choose this method to want to take his own life. That's just kind of odd to me, you know, odd to a lot of black folks, very off-putting. You know, not to say anyway, you know, the biggest thing is mental health his own life, but Lord of mercy, black folks, man, if you're gonna, because it's gonna create all type of hysteria with these ignorant ass black folks down here, man. Should find a different method, man. Because folks are sensitive. Golly, you know. I say we don't need any more rumors and ideas placed in folks' heads and negativity, man. We gotta sick of it. Like do the work and fix your own family so they ain't out here crazy driving around trucks mentally deranged, you know. So, be there for them. Stop thinking people are gonna just be tough enough to be able to tough it out, man. This generation is soft. You know, they need hugs. This generation needs hugs, affirmations, you know, pats on the back. They need all the above, man. They insecure. I don't know, man. It's a lot going on with this generation where I guess just due to the broken home syndrome, man. And all these single mama ass niggas out here, as I call them, single mama ass chicks. There's a lot of people that, man, they don't have that reassurance at home. You know, they have no mental fortitude, and it's apparent. But that's my 2 cents on this right now, man. We're gonna talk a little bit more on the Monday show about it, man. We're gonna go in a little bit, man. But that's my 2 cents on it, man. My thing is, black folks need some mental fortitude, man. This young generation of black folks, I don't know if they didn't have a lot of men in the house. It's like a lot of generations, man. But I feel like their metal and their merit just would never properly, you know. And they're failing a lot of times out here mentally. They can thrive, they can get jobs, they can content create, you know, hit that crypto, whatever, hit that stock market, and shoot, they can run it up, but they can't apply that same courage and conviction to that. Scary, you know. You got all the questions, you got all the TikTok answers, the memes. You think you know you did a bunch of know-it-alls, but at the end of the day, man, your mental fortitude, you ain't mentally rap tight. You're weak. You're weak mind. You willing to end it all over or whatever, you know. And like I said, there's no getting it better. Once you gone, ain't no more getting it right. That's it. Ain't no more getting it right. That's the end of your story. So that's my thing. It's just a wild situation to me. But more details gonna come out, man. Watching me for a little bit, almost an hour, man. Hit that like button, subscribe, man. Throw some on that cash app for your boy, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's your boy Big Cal, man. Hold it down. Peace.